heard a lot of great stories about the original Castlevania on the NES, and that made me want to get it. And when I finally did, to be honest with you, I didn't really enjoy it. So, why don't I like this game? Let's find out.
Okay, let's go.
But as of today, I find it really frustrating.
Fair enough. Some games don't age well sometimes.
Start at the beginning of the same level over and over again, the game gets really repetitive.
I wouldn't say that's bad, cause it's called trial and error. And the way you solve that is by getting good at the game. I guess he meant that this difficulty doesn't feel well to him.
You'll be sent back to the beginning of the level a lot because there are so many cheap deaths.
Yeah, it might be a turn-off for when you first play the game. It doesn't make the game impossible to beat though.
Enemies will constantly shoot annoying fireballs at you, and could Simon walk any slower?
I agree about the fireballs being annoying sometimes. I don't agree about Simon's walking speed being quote-unquote slow though. He moves at a reasonable speed if you ask me.
Weapons help, but you have a limited amount, which I can understand because that's common in video games. But if you want to use your whip or mace in the air, you might accidentally waste your special weapon.
That's rarely a problem to me. Although, I do think it was kinda dumb to keep using that input combination to use a sub-weapon for later games in the series.
This boss is cheap. He constantly swoops down at you and flies away, giving you almost no chance to dodge. This is the first boss in the game. So if this is the first boss in the game, and it's annoying enough, that means the rest of the game is even more frustrating.
You can kinda avoid him by keep moving around. But I can see how this boss could seem badly designed to you, if you reached him with almost no health left.
I can understand a game trying to be a good challenge. I mean, Mega Man's pretty fun.
When you're using weakness weapons, right?
But this game went overboard on difficulty. It would be easier pushing a hippo up a water slide while your shoes are tied together.
Man, it's not that bad.
You can't even save your game, which I know it's because back then video games didn't have that much technology, but it's still annoying.
You mean games weren't advanced enough to have it? Well, that's not what was the issue. It was definitely possible for these games to have a save feature, it's just that it would have cost money to do that. And producing the cartridges themselves was already kinda expensive enough. Not to mention there was a chip shortage going on back then.
And if you stop to take a break from your game to play another game on the NES or the Wii Virtual Console or whatever you're playing this game on, you have to start the entire game all over again.
Well, if you know something called save states, then you can save your current game and come back to it later. However, if you don't use them for the sake of experiencing the game how it originally was, then yeah, it might be annoying to deal with that.
Combine impossible difficulty and the lack of a save option, and not to mention repetitiveness, you get one of the most painful games of all time. Each level is divided into 3 stages. If you die, you have to start at the beginning of the stage. And if you get game over, you have to start the entire level all over again from the first stage of the level.
He phrased that in a confusing way. He meant that you have to redo the stages if you die, but that's not the case when you reach a checkpoint. If you lose all your lives though, then you have to redo the whole level over again.
I had to force myself to survive some really frustrating levels because I didn't want to have to start the entire game all over again. Then the 5th level. Knights are everywhere, and they're really annoying because they take forever to beat.
9 hits to be exact, assuming you have the whip upgrade. The holy water can actually get rid of the knights pretty quickly and easily, so try to bring that with you.
It's nearly impossible to jump over them without getting hit. Then you face death. By that time you're way too low on HP. And his cutter blades stay on the stage for a really long period of time. Even if you get rid of them, he can make more.
I can kinda agree with that. Death is very tough if you don't use the holy water exploit, or the cross weapon.
I wanted to continue this game because I didn't want to have to start the game all over. But after trying to reach him 25 times, and only getting to him once before dying, I just couldn't take it anymore.
That's too bad to hear. I actually kept going cause well, I did think I could beat it. I would recommend watching a walkthrough video that doesn't involve cheats or save states.
So, like I said, this game must have been good for its time, but if you didn't play it back when its time came out, You'll probably enjoy it, but you probably won't. Now, overall, this game isn't necessarily a bad game in any way, but I personally don't like it. Now I know what some of you are probably thinking right now. Wait, you hate the original Castlevania, so you must hate the entire franchise. Well, that's not entirely true.
Actually, what I would think would be that you didn't care about the rest of the Castlevania games because you didn't get into the first game at all.
I've played Castlevania 3. It still has some of the same flaws, but thankfully, you can play as more characters with more abilities, has better graphics, the game isn't as frustrating, and best of all, a save feature! It may use the annoying password system, but better than not saving at all.
The argument about the difficulty can be debatable. I guess he thinks Castlevania 3 is not as frustrating, because some sections are a complete cakewalk with certain characters. Also, yeah, I agree, a password system is better than nothing at all. Assuming the password is not a pain in the ass to input due to how many characters it requires.
Well, there you have it. I like Castlevania 3, but not the original Castlevania. I hope you can accept that. If you like the original Castlevania, I can understand it. But this is my video, and I guess that's all I have to say here.
I don't mind if you don't like the game. Some other people, however, didn't feel the same way, sadly. Cause after this video was posted, most people gave it a thumbs down, and I just don't think the video deserved that. It's not like he said that you shouldn't like the game, so for what are you whining about? I honestly don't like when people loves to have a problem with different opinions. Last time I checked, that was supposed to be okay. And even if that is not the reason you dislike the video, who cares? Even when this video is not professionally made, it's not worth clicking the dislike button. I'm not saying the video is bad, it's just okay, and that's it. I think when people complain about some dumbass kids making videos about old games is stupid and even hypocritical. I think it's hypocritical that you think these dumb kids are taking a dump on your childhood games according to you, yet you act like a triggered little boy about it. The reason I'm talking about this is because I remember watching commentary videos about kids in the mid 2000s and early 2010s making angry Nintendo nerd / AVGN styled videos, and they usually got a lot of flag for it. While I did think those videos from those kids were dumb, they weren't worth it enough to hate on them by saying ridiculous things like, "Don't fuck with Castlevania or Contra or Atari 2600 games, cause those games are masterpieces that should never be questioned," dumb shit like that. It's just a video game, and those were just stupid naive kids imitating your nerdy idol, because they probably loved him as much as you do. I mean, why the fuck do you think it's okay to lower yourself by trying to pick on some kid online? But there you have it, that was Meta527ii's video about Castlevania. In case you are wondering, he still uploads videos in his channel, although he's kinda a Cinema Sims ripoff now, cause most of his recent videos are Cinema Sims inspired. Oh well, whatever works for you. Bye for now, and happy Halloween.